Well, Air Canada flight attendants are going to be taking part in a national action at Pearson and 3 other airports today as a strike deadline looms.
CTV's Colton Praill joins us live now with more on this. Colton, good morning. Air Canada flight attendants are planning a national day of action at 1 p.m. What are they going to do and why?
Yeah, we're going to see a silent picketing outside Pearson, as well as at Vancouver's airport, Montreal airport, and Calgary airport, all taking place at 1 p.m. Eastern. This is as we're coming up to the potential deadline where we could see a strike affecting 10,000 Air Canada flight attendants. This has been an ongoing negotiation that's been taking place for quite some time now, over the past 8 months, but it seems to be reaching ahead this week. The flight attendants will be in a position to strike as early as midnight Saturday. We'd know about 72 hours in advance, so Wednesday we'll have that information as to whether or not a strike is coming this weekend. The union says being unpaid for some working hours as well as low wages are the key sticking points in these negotiations. They're looking for a pretty hefty increase in pay. This is, to be fair, something that they've been looking at for quite some time. We haven't seen, according to the union, significant pay increases for entry-level flight attendants over the last 2 decades, just $3 an hour since 2000. And so they're pushing for some pretty significant changes. Air Canada says it's offering some of those changes and looking to get a deal done. Both sides say they're trying to avoid a strike if possible, but it certainly does appear as though we could be seeing job action take place in a much more disruptive manner as early as this weekend.
So as early as this weekend, okay, that's really significant because, of course, travelers are going to be concerned about that. How will we know, Colton, exactly as the union said it's going to sort of announce them? Because I understand there's some regulations around the timing of these things as well.
Yeah, 72 hours in advance. So we would know Wednesday as to whether or not that strike is actually going to happen, or, 72 hours in advance of any day that it might be happening. Wednesday, of course, is the earliest that we can be notified that it would happen. If it does happen and you're someone who's traveling, the advice right now is not to change your travel plans. Unless it's something that is incredibly time dependent, like a court date or a medical appointment, then it might be worth booking a refundable or an insured travel option on another airline. That way, if the strike does happen, you have another option there. But for people who are traveling or who are already traveling and could be impacted by any sort of labor disruption, there are legal protections for passengers that put the onus on the airline to find other means of transportation to get those people back or to where they're going. And so that protection is enshrined in Canadian law. The one thing that many passenger rights advocates point out is some airlines will offer refunds instead of that. And if passengers do take that refund, they aren't entitled to that destination arrival that is enshrined in Canadian law. And so the recommendation from most advocates is to go through with your travel plans as you expect them to occur and to wait for the airline to come to you should there be any sort of disruption in your flight plans.
Okay, CTV's Colton Praill joining us live with the latest on this. Thank you, Colton.